Hello and welcome to Let's Play Sonic Adventure, the very first Sonic game I have ever played in my entire life. Yeah, I know, even before the Sonic the Hedgehog games, the originals for the Sega Genesis, I know it's weird, I don't understand it, but it's just something that I did. Oh yeah, you can actually, so I didn't know this, you can actually have more than 3 save files. Go and create a new file and get this show on the road. But yeah, this was my very first Sonic game I've ever played. I'll talk a little bit more about it, of course. I'm going to go ahead and start things up here just to kind of begin. Go ahead and hit play game. We have our menu here full of options. Not really going to dive too deep into those. And you're now taken to a character select screen. So as you can see for this game, we have many different characters that we're going to be playing as. So we have each of their different stories that we'll be playing throughout this game. As many of you who have played this game have already known that. We're going to start off with the one and only Sonic. Go ahead and just, I don't normally do this, we'll go ahead and show the controls here. Sonic's are pretty basic. You have the spin dash, you have the jump of course, and you're pretty much running through the entire stage for each of his stages and just trying to get the quickest time with the most amount of rings. That's pretty much it for the most part, but there's kind of an overview of his controls. But first, we'll start the story off at Station Square.
Oh yeah! This is happening! Huh? What's up?
You are completely surrounded! Surrender yourself! Lock on target, men! Ready? Fire! Oh no! Our weapons are useless! Retreat! All personnel, fall back!
Oh yeah! This could be fun!
So we have our first boss fight to start off Sonic's story, and it is against Chaos Zero. This is essentially an ancient water-based creature that Eggman has summoned in order to take over and destroy Station Square, building his own Eggman land, essentially his plan for world domination. He wants to own this entire world. So not too crazy here. Most of the boss fights in this game are pretty much cake. You just have to wait for your moment to strike, and then you can go ahead and when he is open for an attack, you just want to essentially just focus on his head. Once you have hit him 3 times, that'll be it.
Come on, you big drip! Where you going?
You know nothing, fool! It's Chaos, the god of destruction! Ha 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 ha!
Huh? What? Tails? Watch out! You're gonna crash! Ah! Tails! Now, what am I gonna do with you?
So one of the main praises for this game I will give it is this, it does have a lot of great CGI scenes, but most of the other cutscenes and the dialogue are kind of cringy, kind of corny. This did come out in '98, I do believe. I am playing the Xbox version, but this was, originally was released on the Dreamcast, but it does carry over all the corny and cringy dialogue and cutscenes that are, you know, something to laugh at. This is the Mr. Know-It-All kid who'll kind of give some clues here. Grab the spinning rings, and as long as you've got the rings, you'll be okay even if you hit any hazards. So yeah, so essentially he's just telling you information that everybody knows if they played Sonic before is you have to have at least one ring in order to keep yourself alive. If you get hit with no rings intact, you will of course die and lose an extra life. Let's see what these gals over here just kind of in their bathing suits chilling by the pool want to say here. Just chilling here. A plane crashed over there at the beach. I hope the pilot's okay. Mr. Sonic, please go see if you can save him. Kind of cool you can talk to these NPCs. Just my luck. A monster appears and then a plane falls. I came here to relax. This is unbelievable. Yeah, I do kind of like that they give you the option to interact with some of these NPCs. They look very blockish, like they should be in Roblox or something. But again, '98, you can't really hate it too much. Girl here chilling in the pool. What does she have to say? What? What happened? I was swimming and I missed it. Alright, so yeah, so we're starting off Sonic's story with, of course, we had a boss fight there in the beginning, but now Tails apparently has crashed his plane. So they're giving us a hint that he's over at the beach. That's where we're going to start off Sonic's story with the first stage, Emerald Coast. So Sonic stages are pretty straightforward. Again, if you played any Sonic game all the way back to the Sonic Genesis games, you know kind of what to do here. You are speeding through the stages as quickly as possible, collecting as many rings as you can, and defeating as many enemies as you can as well. Defeating any enemies that are in your path. Those three things combined will determine your final score. By the time you reach the end of the stage, you will be given that score, and that'll determine which rank you get. The ranks in this game work obviously differently from the original Sonic games, where you're just, in those games you were just kind of given a total number score. You are given that in this game, but however you are ranked by letters, and that was a weird glitch. I just fell through the ground. So you rank by letters, and based on how well you do in each stage, you will get a letter ranking from A to C, I believe. I don't know if D and E are in this. I've never gotten that before. But really, I'm not going to care too much about the ranking. I might later on, after the main story, go back and try to A-rank every stage possible. Not really going to promise that because that is quite a chore. But we'll see how well we do here. A cool little somatic here. We're running away from a giant orca whale. Kind of neat. Pretty much all of Sonic stages have a nice little gimmick there where you're given a cool little somatic there, usually towards the middle or the end of the stage. And one of the reasons I like this game over a lot of other Sonic games is because although there is a lot of cringy and corny dialogues and cutscenes, I know, but this game does have a lot of charm to it. The characters themselves, I think, were the best in the Sonic series, in my opinion, during the Sonic Adventure games. They had a lot more personality, a lot more charm, and I just love the voice actors too. I think the voice actors were probably the peak. This was probably peak voice acting for the Sonic 3D series, in my personal opinion. I know later games have improved some things that I think maybe had maybe gotten a little worse after the Sonic Adventure series and the 3D games, but for the most part, I do love the job that they give us, or I do love what they give us here in these games. So yeah, really not much left to say about Sonic's stages, typical stuff here. We of course just want to, you know, hit all those main criteria and you'll be good. Now, one thing I always thought when I first played this game, even though this was my very first Sonic game I had ever played, I had always thought that this was the very first 3D Sonic game, because I had actually went back and played the Sonic the Hedgehog games for the Genesis after I played this game and Adventure 2. And I always thought that this was just the first game that kicked off the 3D series, which technically it is, if you're counting this as a full 3D adventure game. However, 3D elements were introduced in the Sonic series even earlier than this. We had Sonic the Fighters and Sonic 3D Blast that actually introduced and featured various 3D models in isometric perspectives. But they were not considered like complete, true 3D platformers. This was the first game that was essentially considered that. So But as you can see there, we've already got to the end of the first stage, and we're going to see what we are able to do with Tails since we finally found him. Rescued the little guy from his plane crash because he's just that much of a crazy fox, I guess.
Hey, Sonic! Long time no see, huh?
I'm just glad you're okay. What happened anyway? You're too good of a pilot to just crash like that.
That was a test run using a new prototype propulsion system. It's got a few bugs to iron out.
Why not just use my plane, the Tornado?
Thanks, but you gotta check out my newest power supply. Ta-da!
Whoa! A Chaos Emerald!
Yep, I just happened to find one of the 7 emeralds during one of my test flights. This thing's got unlimited power, you know. So I figured, why not use it to power my plane? Supercharged! You gotta come over to my workshop, Sonic. I've got something I've gotta show you. It's in the Mystic Ruins. The fastest way is by train. Let's go!
So we can now officially play as Tails. So one thing that's kind of cool is you do unlock each character's story by just progressing through the initial story. So obviously Sonic's is the only one we can actually play at starting off, but we will unlock more characters as we progress throughout the story. As you can see, Emerald Coast is now blocked off, so that's essentially letting us know, yeah, we can't go back there, unfortunately. I do think you can revisit every stage, if I'm not mistaken, after you complete each story for each character to get a better rank in. But for now, we're just going to kind of move right along. Yeah, those NPCs are just kind of enjoying the poolside. Didn't really read the dialogue there, but again, it's really cool that you kind of interact with them. It just feels like a very interactive world. I'm the hotel manager. By the way, if you want to visit the Chow Garden, take the left elevator. Yeah, we'll be visiting the Chow Garden later on. That's not something I'm going to focus on right now. During the main story, it's in that elevator right there that opened up on the left. If you want to check it out, I'm not going to, so we'll move right along. The casino is only open at night, so it's still daytime. We can't go in there yet. Up here's a little nifty little trick secret that we'll be kind of exploring a little bit later on as well. But for now, we're just going to take a stroll around good old Station Square. I have to say, personally, I really love this place. It feels like a real-life city that, you know, we're just kind of running around in. The train in this train station will take us to Mystic Ruins. We're not going to go there quite yet. We just want to talk to some more people here. Oh, sped right past her. Have you heard? Somewhere out there is a man called Dr. Robotnik. First he captures helpless animals, and then he throws them into machines. Yeah, he's a monster. Yeah, the poor animals. Yeah, I own this building. Well, I'm not sure about this, but I heard somebody saw a monster. The roads in the city offices are closed right now. All right. So yeah, Station Square is kind of experiencing a little bit of a hectic situation here. What do they have to say? Farewell, old relationship. Hello, new relationship. That is what I always say. So yeah, we have some a couple here just kind of enjoying their time here. Very loveliness. Yeah, these la 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 la, we're in love. There's a special for couples at Twinkle Park. If you bring a date, you get in free. Well, it's a good thing I do not have anybody that I'm dating, so I guess I'm paying full price, it looks like. So, but yeah, quite a bit to explore here. It isn't like super large, but you have this whole area, and there's actually another area as well. This is the central station, the main train station. It's going to take us to Mystic Ruins. So we're just going to you know, not mess around and just head right to where we need to go. Mr. Know-It-All is giving us another tip here. He's basically just going to give you the rundown of like the main controls, the main functions of the game. Again, if you played any generic Sonic or any main Sonic game ever, it's really nothing you're going to know that you haven't already learned, or nothing you're going to learn that you haven't already known already. So if this is your first Sonic game like it was mine, then it may be helpful. If you want to go to Mystic Ruins, take the train. If you're going to do research, the trip's free, of course. Only a real adventurer takes a trip to such a remote place. So yeah, so that sounds like the place we need to go. Since we are a real adventurer, low pay, hard work. What am I doing? Oh, a customer. I'm sorry. Station Square Central. The train's heading to Mystic Ruins. All right, so here's the train. I say we take off for Mystic Ruins. What do you have to say? You look all professional. Look around. The train's packed with exhausted people, but look at me. I'm full of energy. Oh, good for you, man. Some of us don't always have that. We need a little bit of caffeine or something to get us kicking off. So time to take the train over to Mystic Ruins and see what lies for us over here. Kind of cool. Another location I very much adore. Probably my favorite in the game. Look at this place, man. It's essentially a huge mountainous area. with a nice skyline and everything. I gotta love it. You gotta love it. Nice big open world to explore. I mean, that's just something I love to do. So yeah, we are looking for Tails' workshop. So yeah, funny enough, we're the exploration party searching for the ruins. I'm still new here, so they don't let me go very far. All right, sorry for you, buddy. But yeah, so Tails has actually, ironically enough, somehow found this place and situated his workshop in it. So when I woke up, the mountain was there already. I don't think it sprung out of the ground, so it must have fallen from the sky. I know that sounds crazy. Well, I think we've heard crazier things before, so we're gonna go ahead and see what we can find here. This wall, or part of the wall, looks a little suspicious, a little bit of a darker shade than the rest, so I wonder what we're gonna be doing with that. Probably something in the future, hint hint. Talk to these researchers. We heard that there are ruins of an ancient civilization here. We came to check it out. Very nice. So yeah, they're just kind of doing their little research thing. I love how there's all this background stuff going on as you're actually tackling the main storyline here. I don't know why, I just really think that's awesome. Here we have a nice, gorgeous waterfall. You know, it just looks very beautiful. The nice little river down there. Man, this place just looks gorgeous. Like, I would vacation here, maybe even move out here if I had the money. But man, holy crap, maybe just build a tent and just camp out here for life or something. That house on the top of the hill, a fox named Tails lived there. Tails calls it his workshop. Maybe that's where Tails is now. So yeah, they'll kind of give you hints on what you need to do. It's not that easy to get lost in this game, but if you do, just talk to NPCs.
Sonic!
Look, it's a giant talking egg.
Silence! I am Dr. Robotnik, the greatest scientific genius in the world!
Whatever you say, Eggman.
Enough! I've got big plans, and now I'm gonna put them to work!
You're always up to no good. Now what do you want?
I want all of the Chaos Emeralds! Better not interfere! Or else!
Or else what, you big loser?
Or else I'll take them from you by force! The hard way!
It is now time to face off with Dr. Robotnik and his Egg Hornet. So yeah, this is another easy fight. Oh, I mean, what am I saying? All these fights are really easy. We just gotta wait for him to do his little missile attack here, and then once he dives into the ground, we can show off a pretty funny little glitch here. So what you, once he gets to this point right here, you just want to home in on him, and attack him like crazy, and he will go down within seconds. You don't have to even wait for him to do his other attacks. That is all you have to do, is just go crazy on the homing attack, and he's done for. Kind of cool. I played this game way too many times, as you can tell, but I think if you play this game as much as I have, you have probably figured out that glitch already. So, moving right along, man.
Well, that wasn't so hard.
Aha!
Oh no!
Come on, Chaos! Time to eat!
Chaos? Oh no, isn't that the same monster I saw the other day?
Oh, yes! It's just as the stone tablets predicted! His strength increases every time I feed him a Chaos Emerald! With all 7 emeralds in him, he'll be invincible! And work for me! Together, we'll destroy Station Square! And on its ruins, I'll build Robotnik Land, the ultimate city, where I will rule it all! Come on, Chaos! Let's find another emerald, shall we?
Sonic! We can't let him get away with this, can we?
No way, Tails!
Without more emeralds, the monster can't transform. So, it's up to us to get the emeralds before Eggman does, huh?
It's up to us to get the emeralds before Eggman does, huh? I don't know, the voice acting, they do a good job for the most part. It's 98, you gotta give them some slack, but it just has its funny moments. Here is Tails' wonderful workshop. You get to kind of explore it a little bit as well. Nothing too crazy here. We're not going to be really focusing on it quite yet, but here we have a nice little runway. Opposites is for his plane to get a little momentum before it takes off. Look at that skyline, man. Again, I know this was 98, and I talk a lot about old games having very just great graphics that I still think age pretty good. Like, I mean, for 98, like, what other games in 98 can you really say did this? Yeah, we have Tails' this little symbol there with his tail. I think that's kind of cool. Obviously letting you know that it's his workshop. We're going to explore a little bit more around Mystic Ruins first, but fun little fact here, you can go inside here, and the camera perspective is kind of angled in a way where you can kind of see all of Sonic's dimensions here. You get a nice little shot here of Sonic. We'll do a little showing off here. It's kind of cool. We get a peek in on how he looks from each side there. Kind of cool. It's almost like it's a security. Tails is like security camera in case anybody breaks in, even though the door is just clearly open. But here we're going to take this key. Now this key is actually going to unlock the next stage. You'll have a couple of these throughout the game. This game is very easy, but I do like that they give you, kind of require you to find these little keys in order to unlock certain stages. It just kind of makes it a little bit more fun, and you get to explore a lot more when they have these requirements, rather than just jumping into one stage after another and just kind of speeding through the story. But here's where the key goes, and we are now entering stage 2, Windy Valley. Windy Valley. Oh man, something about this stage, I don't know what it is, but I am just a fan, I have to say. It's kind of cool. We get Tails actually following us in this stage. I think it's one of the only stages in Sonic's story where that actually happens. But welcome to Windy Valley, and my first death of the stage. In all seriousness, this is probably one of my favorite Sonic stages. I don't know what it is about it. Like I said, we will revisit the stage later as another character. I don't want to spoil it too much for those of you that happen to be watching this and may have not played this game yet for some reason. But yeah, it's just a very peaceful stage, and the music, honestly, is probably my favorite part about this stage, other than the fact that we have this little gimmick right here. We get to actually run in air, and we have essentially like an invisible path there where you're just getting blown by the wind, hence the name Windy Valley. I don't know, it's just kind of neat, a little neat gimmick that I don't know why when I played this when I was younger, I just thought that was like the coolest thing in the world. And as you can see, we're now getting sucked in by a giant tornado. So yeah, but this game, again, I think that something that the newer Sonic games kind of miss out on, and especially compared to this game and Adventure 2, is just the charm, and like the there's a certain charm this game has where when you play through some of these stages, you kind of get immersed in the stage, and there's something unique that happens in almost every stage that you play. Even if it's just for a few seconds or for a short while, it just feels very, I don't know, it just kind of captivates you in a way where you're just kind of, you're enjoying playing the stage more in a way where you just don't really care what ranking you get. Like when I play these games, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, I really don't care how well I do, and I think that's why I never really tried to A-rank every single stage. I have never done so in this game, and I think it's just for that reason that I have so much fun playing the stage just normally without even thinking about the score that I just, I'm pretty much satisfied with just that. So, but yeah, pretty much, that's really the main reason why I think some of these stages really stand out and are more memorable for me compared to some of the newer 3D Sonic games. So, but for now, we're just going to kind of focus on the objective at hand here. We are just kind of getting towards the end of this stage here. Sonic's story is the longest story of the game, so this is going to be the longest portion of the game, and then it actually gradually gets pretty short for all the other characters that we have left to play as. Apart from that, I'm just mainly going to have fun with this, and if we get a pretty embarrassing rank in almost every stage, which I'm probably sure it's going to happen, but here we have a nice little area here. We get a little twisty-turny and things get a little crazy. And then one thing about these Sonic stages is they kind of make you dizzy after a while because there's so many twists and turns and spins and things like that. It just kind of, you just kind of have to go with the flow for the most part. But there's a Chaos Emerald that we were able to get there. And that was the main objective that we needed to get at the end of the stage. So very nice. It is time to move right along. Tally up our score here. We got a decent amount of rings. That's not too bad. And of course, we had the level C rank.
Yeah, not bad.
That'll give us yet again another Sonic emblem. So we have 2 of those already. Many more to go.
The train headed for Station Square will be departing soon.
Sounds like the train is all ready to go to Station Square. What's with the big gusts of wind inside that cave? I guess I'll call it Windy Cave. Very creative, you researcher. You are very creative. What do you have to say now? Anything different? This is our base camp. Another party has already gone into the jungle, but we haven't heard from them in a long time. I hope they're okay. So yeah, the jungle is something we're going to be exploring here soon. As you can see, it's actually right past this gate, but we have no way of getting in there. But we will be eventually. But for now, we're just going to kind of explore around Mystic Ruins a little bit more. What do you have to say, buddy? Come on now, let me get a good look at you. We have no idea what happened. We're trying to figure out how this mountain could just appear out of nowhere. So these guys are, I guess, really grinding their gears here, trying to figure out what the heck's going on here. We're the exploration party searching for the ruins. Of course, we missed the city. Looking for something? You should probably go to the city. You can find just about anything you want there. Alright, so I guess that's a hint telling us we need to go back to Station Square. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and climb up these stairs. Up these long 2 sets of stairs here, and we'll take our train ride back to good old Station Square. Alright, so we are back. It looks like the sun is about to set. Another thing that's kind of cool about this game is, yeah, time does actually change the further you progress within the stories. This does happen with every character, so just kind of point that out. I go to the casino every night. The lights are really pretty at night. Alright. I think we're having to go over there, probably. Hey, it's Sonic! Is it true you save the entire world? What's happening with Angel Island? So yeah, Angel Island's not actually somewhere we've been yet. I don't know if they've actually shown it yet, but we will be talking about that very soon. But yeah, so as you can tell, that girl is pretty much giving you a hint that we need to head to the casino area next. But however, I want to go ahead and explore something else first. What do you have to say? I don't really talk to these guys a lot. What's up with that girl? She's been standing there all day, just staring into the burger shop. So I guess there's some creepy girl who was just staring into a burger shop. We'll find out what's going on with that here in a little bit. Yeah, this is the other side of Station Square. I did not show off yet. Not really much over here. The other part is a little bit larger and easier to, a lot more to explore in that section. Again, Station Square isn't humongous, but it's still kind of cool that you have all this space to just kind of wander around. And here's a burger shop. We heard about a girl staring into a window. I guess there's a guy working here. What he has to say? Working here right now? I feel like somebody's staring at me. Feel like someone's staring at me. If you notice, there's actually a Sonic emblem in there. I'm not going to get that quite yet because there's actually a few of those that are hidden throughout the main world. There's other ones hidden in locations that we haven't even arrived at yet, so I'm going to kind of hold that off for a much later, probably much later video. Yeah, as you can see, I picked up a statue guy there. It's a statue that looks identical to an actual man or NPC or whatever, or it's like a mannequin. I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to be. But if we jump into this manhole, we will be thrown into the sewers underneath Station Square. The reason why I want to come down here first is because of this.
Now you've got Lightspeed shoes. Press and hold the action button to store up power. Once you have enough power, release the button and you can do the Lightspeed dash. The Lightspeed dash lets you race toward rings at light speed. As long as there's a trail of rings, you can go just about anywhere.
Alright, so we now have the Lightspeed dash. It is the first of Sonic's 2 upgrades that he gets in the game. And this pretty ball of light is letting us know that once we have a line of rings like this, if we hold down the B button or the action button, whatever console you're playing this on, hold it down for long enough, then let go once he lights up, you will do a Lightspeed dash. And you can use that to essentially travel quicker through stages in the main hub world if there's any line of rings like that. Yeah, this guy is kind of picky. Enter through the front door, alright? Yeah, he's not really happy that we entered through the back door. We couldn't help it, buddy. We didn't know where that was going to go. Fun fact, if you pick up this gold egg, you will be locked inside of this place. I'm going to explain what this egg does in a minute, or later on. Right now, we're not going to mess with it. Just wanted to kind of show that. I'm sure many people, for the first time playing this game, have probably tried to pick that egg up, to wondering what it is. We'll get to that eventually. But for now, we are going to head over to the other side of Station Square. Now that we have the Lightspeed Dash, we can actually unlock another stage. So that's actually a required ability. And I think Sonic only has 2 abilities total. Well, there's no one there in the newsstand. Usually there's a girl there. As you can see, it's now nighttime, so we've actually changed the time of day again to lovely ladies here. What do you have to say? Chow are so cute. Have you seen them yet? You can see them in the hotel lobby. They're so sweet. Not yet. Twinkle Park's cool, but Casinopolis sounds fun too. Oh, I just can't decide where to go first. All right. All kinds of nice attractions here at Station Square, apparently. We have Twinkle Park we've heard of. We have Casinopolis, which we have yet to explore. I guess that's over where the casino is. So what do you say we go ahead and explore over in that section? Why not? What do you have to say, buddy? I'm the hotel manager. Call me if you need anything. By the way, check out that door on the left. If you want to go to the casino, take your time and enjoy yourself. All right. So we're going to do just that. Everybody's letting us know that the casino is something to check out, so we're going to do it right now. And another part to explore here, we have a little kid here. Wow, my mom went into the casino but hasn't come out yet. Unfortunate for you, I guess you get to do whatever you want until she does. What do you have to say? Wow, neon lights, great music. So this is a casino that everyone's been talking about. I wonder what that switch over the sign. I always get the urge to press things like that. Alright, so she's giving us a hint that we need to press that giant switch above the casino sign. There's only one way to do that, and if you have the Lightspeed shoes, you can now hit this switch. And as you can see, there's a trail of rings. So what do you know? We can go ahead and utilize our new ability in order to get up there. So now that the switch is open, the switch is pressed, the door is open. Welcome to Casinopolis. We have now unlocked the next stage. Welcome to Casinopolis. Store your rings in the vault. Try to save at least 400 rings in the vault. So yeah, so this stage, and yeah, we have Tails with us once again, kind of cool. This stage is pretty unique. This is probably the most unique stage in the entire game. You're not jetting through from beginning to end. Yeah, this is the vault. So what we want to do here is, instead of just doing the typical Sonic thing where we're just speeding through the stage, getting to the end either for a Chaos Emerald or an animal thing, we have a Chaos Emerald all the way up there in that vault. The only way to get it is to collect a total of 400 rings. So this is a collector level. What you want to do is just simply that. You want to get 400 rings. The way to do that is to play a bunch of casino games. So that's actually pretty cool. I do like this idea. It can kind of feel a little bit jarring and a little slowed down, especially for people that are speedrunners. And definitely in the Sonic community, I'm sure there's 90% of people that play Sonic games are doing it to speed through the game as fast as they can. This is a level where you can't necessarily do that, but I kind of like the switch up that they kind of throw at you here towards the middle of the story. This is a shower room. You can wash yourself off. So this is kind of cool, kind of random. You can't really do anything here. It doesn't have much importance other than a little cool gimmick here where you can just kind of stand in the shower and wait for it. Yep, right there. You can wash yourself off of all the crud and dirt and gunk that you've been throughout all the stages up until this point, I guess. I don't know. I guess if you want to take a shower, take a little break here and kind of relax and refresh here, it's a good place to do that. Sonic's definitely getting in the mode there. He's getting in the shower mood, kind of. He's been a busy hedgehog. He's had a lot of stuff to do all the way from the very first Sonic game up until now. Let's give him a little break, shower him off, and he's all good to go. So yeah, so pretty cool looking stage here. We actually have a lot of stuff in the center room. Unfortunately, we can't really do anything in this center area. We can only rely on these various games here that we're going to be playing. Card pinball course. So this is going to be basically just a typical pinball machine, but we are going to be thrown in as Sonic, and Sonic is going to act as the actual pinball. So basically, as you notice there, that machine that was letting us know essentially how the game works, we need to collect at least 100 rings. If you do not collect at least 100 by the time you get done with this game, basically meaning that if you fall between those two bumpers enough times without at least 100 rings, you will be thrown into the garbage, which is another area of the stage that actually has more rings in it, but we're going to try to see if we can get as many as we can in this one go. We already have 60 so far, including the center room that we started in, and we grabbed a few there. But these games are actually pretty fun. They can get a little repetitive, and it does seem very tedious to kind of do this ring grinding thing for this stage, but I don't know, I always kind of like this stage. I thought it was a nice little switch up and a nice way to kind of kind of branch out from what a typical Sonic stage would be. You could say this might have been a little bit more suited for another character to have a stage like this versus Sonic, who is known for just speeding through every place that he goes. But I like it. I can't really complain too much about it, other than the fact that it can get a little tedious. So this purple jester looking guy is actually Knights from a game called Nights into Dreams, another game that was actually developed by the Sonic team and published by Sega for the Sega Saturn console in 1996. Kind of interesting. I never knew who the hell this guy was when I first played this game, but it's really cool to see other Sega games, and especially games that were actually worked on by the same team that worked on Sonic, actually being intertwined into this game. So kind of cool. Little trivia there. I believe this is the only time he actually appears in this, but a nice little Easter egg, to say the least, I have to say. I do like the little hidden things they do place into this game, and there's going to be a lot more of those coming up later on, and I will do my best to point those out once we come across them. So if you get Sonic hit by those bumpers into a certain location, you will be able to do that little ride through those rings. I think you just have to hit them essentially out of the bounds or the boundary area up there on the top. So but kind of cool nonetheless. So we're going to just continue on here, and we're just going to see how many rings we can get here. I already have a total of over 100. Looks like we were thrown into another little warp area here. It's kind of cool, or path where we're going to be sent to another location. And it looks like a bunch of flying angel babies. I don't know exactly what those things are, but there's Knights again. He's just kind of chilling on the top of this little gazebo, funky looking thing. It almost looks like I think those are like the sprites from like the Dreamcast or something. I'm not sure, or this is the Xbox version of Sonic Adventure. I'm not playing the original Dreamcast version, so I think that I don't know if they even touched up those sprites at all in this version. So he kind of looks a little bit more, I don't know, a little more retro looking compared to how the Sonic characters look in this Xbox game. So, but kind of cool there. We're just gonna again continue to see how many rings we can accumulate here. We almost have half of our goal here. We're at like almost 200 rings, so. I think we're going to have really no problem at all. If you're good, you can get through the stage pretty quickly, even though you have, to grind up, or you have to grind up so many rings. It really isn't that hard if you are, paying attention to where you're hitting Sonic, and just kind of, really utilizing the pinball machine in a way where you can kind of get him from one point to another. It works out pretty well. You can actually use the control stick, I believe, to shake the pinball machine when he's in there, and it'll actually alter which direction that he goes. But if we go back into the vault, we will be shaken. We will be shook like hell by this giant machine, and that's going to essentially deposit all of the rings that we are carrying into the machine. Now, one thing that would suck is if you die when you have 0 rings. I do believe you have to start this stage from the beginning, so you can't just save where you left off. So try not to do that, because that would be not fun. We have a slot pinball course right here. We have kind of more of like a classic slots pinball machine. So we have the opportunity to get into the slot right here, and if we line up 3 of the same character, like we did right there with Tails, we got a T kickback bonus. So that's essentially going to award us more rings than normal. We didn't get a whole lot from that one. I think the actual ring icons, if you line 3 of those up, I believe those are worth the most rings. You just want to mainly aim for the other characters' faces or the ring icons, because that's the best possible one. So looks like we're going to be taken to this little tube here. See where this takes us, and it looks like we are in a kind of an awkward position here. I don't really like that part right there, because it just gets a little awkward to control Sonic, because you're not. First of all, the camera angle is a little weird. You don't really have full control over where Sonic is going. The most you can do is like get a nice little running or jumping start when he shot out of that tube, and you can just do your best to, do the best that you can to collect those rings. But for me, that's always kind of been a struggle. We're still in it to win it. We have almost another 100 rings, so we're pretty close to our goal here. And, we got another T kickback. I guess you can get a diagonal line up there. That's kind of cool. I forgot about that. But if you notice our time, we're already approaching almost 9 minutes in the stage. So as you can see, it can be time consuming. Like I said, it's probably, again, the more tedious and probably the slowest of the stages in Sonic Story. So just keep that in mind if you're a speedrunner and maybe you haven't played this game before, and that's just something to kind of stay aware of once it comes up. So but it looks like we are getting close to our goal. We are at about 150 rings. We need another 50 at least, and I think we'll be good. And it looks like Eggman, so we got Eggman there lined up, but we didn't get anything for that. So I guess you just get nothing if you line up Eggman's face 3 times in a row. So we got Tails again though. Oh, we got Knuckles, Shining K, that's cool. And that's gonna do it right there. That's gonna achieve, or that's going to allow us to achieve our goal of over 400 rings. Very nice. I'm just gonna keep going here and just see how many rings I can I can go ahead and gather up here. No balls left. No balls left. We are thrown into a tube once again. Let's see where we end up. Same place as always. I don't know. I don't really like that path. Starting to really kind of hate it. I just hate it. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and exit out of that machine, and I want to show one more thing before we clear the stage because we have plenty of rings to do so. However, I have not yet shown what the actual garbage area looks like that you get thrown into for getting 50 or less less than 100 rings in either of those pinball machines. But first, we're going to go ahead and deposit the rings we have just in case we lose them. I don't want to really go through all that headache again to get over 200 rings just to get to the end of the stage. So we're going to go ahead and deposit all those left. Now, we can get up there and grab that emerald now. But like I said, I want to just hold off for another quick second. We're already at 12 minutes, so I'm not really worried about the time. We got plenty of rings, so the score is not going to be perfect, but we got what we needed to get done. If we get thrown back into either of these pinball games, and you let yourself get through or go through the bumpers without collecting at least 100 rings, here we have the garbage dump area, whatever you want to call it. This is where you're going to be thrown if you do not collect at least 100 rings in either of the 2 pinball courses. You have a bunch of enemies down here. You just want to obviously make sure you avoid them. That way you don't lose the rings that you've gathered up at this point. And as you can see, there's plenty more rings for you to collect down here. So if you didn't have the chance that you needed to get the rings that you were needing to get in the actual pinball machine courses, you get another chance in the garbage. So they're not mean in any way, shape, or form in this stage. They're essentially holding your hand for the most part. I mean, the fact that you have there's probably 100 rings in this section right here. So if you didn't get what you needed in the 2 pinball courses that they gave you, you're definitely going to come close, at least getting to your goal by collecting the remaining rings that are actually in the garbage. So kind of cool. A little bit maybe too hand-holdy when it comes to the amount of rings you can get, but who cares, right? Like, we get to explore a lot more of the stage. This actually feels more like a Sonic stage where we're just kind of, speeding through this little section here, destroying enemies, avoiding obstacles. So probably the most Sonic-y part of the stage is right down here in the garbage, believe it or not. We are now thrown up into the shower room. We were already here before. This is where you actually exit out of the garbage. Kind of cool. I just wanted to kind of show how that all connected. And I didn't want to leave the stage without at least showing that garbage section since we actually didn't even need it, believe it or not. But now, we're going to continue onwards. We have the vault right here, and actually, we have another over 200 rings that we can actually deposit.
As many rings as you can. It may even help show you the way.
I don't think I've ever deposited this many rings at a time, or in one time doing this stage, so it looks like we have overkilled our goal, so very nice.
Yes! Yeah, not bad. Yeah! Hey! Oh no, the Chaos Emerald!
Oh, no, you don't!
Oh, jeez! Eggman!
Oh man, what happened to that emerald we just had?
I guess Eggman's got one of them, but the other one's safe. That guy must be desperate.
That means his 2 to our 1, and that's not good. Come on, Sonic, we need to get busy!
Yeah, Sonic, let's get busy, but first, if you look up directly into the air, you will see Cream, another character from the Sonic universe, making a cameo. Yeah, that only happens, I think, as soon as you exit this level, Casinopolis. You can see her again once you play through some other character stories at certain points as well, so just keep that in mind. Looks like the little boy has finally been reunited with his mother. Finally, little Timmy can rest easy now. But yeah, so we have an ice stone. Essentially is the only really important part from that cutscene that we need to take away from. This is obviously going to be used in Mystic Ruins. Where else is this thing going to be used than the mystical mountain area itself? So let's take the train back over there. And what do you know, my intuition earlier on was right. There was something weird about that wall, or maybe I've just played this game way too many times. I don't know. But yeah, so now we have a completely new area unlocked and open for us to explore. Well, a little bit. So as you can see, we just have another gust of wind right here. The rocks crumbled and revealed an entrance to a cave. The soil seems a lot like the soil from the Mystic Ruins. All right. So yeah, we essentially need to travel up this airway, and we will be taken to another section of the cave. So as you can see here, there's a giant symbol with a giant snowflake symbol, indicating that this is where we're supposed to put the ice key, hence the snowflake. Yeah, kind of obvious, but we have now opened up a new area here, and it's a lot more icy, a little freezing. I'm kind of getting a little cold and chilly in here, so hopefully we can get to the ladder quickly. But yeah, there's a giant ladder right here, and this is actually going to be the entrance to the next stage. We are jumping right into it, man. We're not messing around. We are getting through this story with no time to spare. We have entered Ice Cap. Ice Cap is probably one of my favorite looking stages because, again, I'm a sucker for ice or snow levels, I have to say. Although I will argue that winter is definitely not my favorite season. Fall is. When it comes to video games, and especially platformers, ice levels are just something about them, man. I say it every time I enter one. I just love the Arctic look, because you can get really creative with a lot of different types of stages and platformers, especially a Sonic platformer. But when you introduce Sonic to an ice level, oh man, there's just something about it, like just the way the ice looks, like these icicle things that were doing a horrible job at jumping from. Everything looks really cool. Like, look at these crystals, man. Like, those are like ice crystals coming out of the ground. We have an entire like Mount Everest looking landscape here. I mean, this place looks like it should be located somewhere in Antarctica or somewhere across the globe. I don't know, but here we have a perfect example of why I love playing 3D Sonic, because we get a variety of levels to look at and adore, and of course all of the different types of atmospheres. It just feels like we're literally like running around the entire world. That's what this feels like, especially in this game. It just feels like they really go above and beyond with bringing a lot of diversity in the way the levels look and how they feel. It truly feels like we are kind of just running around the whole world, at least in the Sonic world. So, but enough of me buttering up this level. We're going to continue onwards. We have some spike traps there on the ground, so those are kind of hard to see at first because they kind of blend in a little bit with the ground. It's a little bit of a darker color. The main gimmick here is we are going to be using these icicle things to get around quite frequently throughout Ice Cap. Of course, we have Tails at our side there. I do love the, I know I've already said this before, but just the fact that Tails is kind of with us and kind of following us makes this, again, a very immersive adventure here, where we're not just like, you know, playing a typical Sonic game, speeding through the level to get a high score. We have our buddy Tails. This almost kind of reminds me of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, where Tails is kind of there with you throughout most of the adventure. And if you thought this level wasn't cool enough already, we get to do a little bit of snowboarding. So yeah, we are actually running away from a giant avalanche, or whatever the hell this is, a bunch of snow crap that's about to kill us, essentially. But we get to snowboard the hell away from it. This is actually a really cool idea, and I really feel like, I mean, have we gotten enough Sonic sports games? Like, I don't really know. I know there's Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, but this is definitely a way that they could have, you know, maybe promoted more Sonic sports games. I don't know. Maybe I'm just alone in that. But I have to say, for a snowboarding stage, this feels very smooth to control. I played a lot of other 3D platformers that have like some sort of snowboarding or like skating, function in the game. This does not feel sloppy at all as far as its design. It feels very smooth. It is a little touchy, like when you go from left to right, you do kind of move pretty fast. So you kind of have to be very careful of your movements, but it just feels very smooth overall and just a very, user-friendly type of control in my opinion. What also is icing on the cake here is that we have these giant ramps that we can actually ramp off of to gain more momentum and speed, and you can actually get further in the level very fast by doing that. I try to take as many of those orange ramps as possible, that way I can kind of get through. I just like to get through this part very fast, and it's kind of cool to see his little tricks and his stylish techniques when he jumps off the ramp like that. He just looks really cool. It's really badass, honestly. But yeah, it also allows you to get to the end of the level a lot quicker, obviously. But as you can see, we kind of overshot there. We hit the wall. I love that you're able to do that when you jump off that last ramp. Yes. But we're going to turn around, grab our green Chaos Emerald, and get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, not bad.
Alright, so we have returned to the little ice cavern here. I gotta say, I like this little small section of the game here, but I feel like they could have expanded on this little ice area. I feel like they could have made it a little, even like its entire own section of the Mystic Ruins. I know it's like a tiny little area there, but I don't know, just something I kind of been thinking about. But here we have kind of a blocked pathway. We can't go through there yet. Keyword is yet. We will be able to much later on, but for now, this is all that we have to explore up in this upper area of the cave. So, you have anything else to say, buddy boy? After studying it, I have found it's similar to stratum, but actually it's part of the border. There's a difference. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, you gotta love. I love having intelligent conversation with people, and I don't know. I don't like talking about boring stuff like the weather. Who was that with the long arms and the red body? I think he was headed towards the waterfall. All right. So we got some long arm red body creature. Sounds like somebody familiar that we have seen in a previous Sonic game. Let's go ahead and find out.
What's up, Knuckles? Something bugging you? No time for games, Sonic. Give me the emeralds you have, right now! What? Let's just see you take them, huh?
Alright, so we have our next boss fight, and it is with Knuckles.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Knuckles, you are a joke.
Oh no! The Chaos Emeralds!
Eggman.
Oh!
Ha! Like taking candy from a baby.
That's a Chaos Emerald!
That's right, fool! You made it all too easy! You practically gave them to me!
Hold it right there, creep! You can't get away with this! Knuckles, don't tell me Eggman tricked you again!
Me? What about you?
Way to go, Knucklehead!
Now I have 4 lovely emeralds! Chaos! These are for you, my friend!
He transformed again!
Man, no one ever cuts us any slack!
And we have our first back-to-back boss fight in the game. We are now facing off with Chaos 4. So we have another Chaos fight here. This one is probably my least favorite just because it is I don't know, just because it is extremely awkward to move around on top of this water using only these lily pads. I don't know, I never really cared for this fight. He's not hard at all. Like, every boss fight in this game is a joke, honestly, but I don't know, it's just always been uncomfortable for me to try to jump and run around on top of this freaking water, and of course he would make me lose all of my damn rings. Again, you only have to hit him, well, you have to hit him more than 3 times this time around, but I think it's like 5 or 6 times actually this time. Kind of annoying, it just kind of drags in my opinion. Like, this fight could have been made a little easier, like maybe give me like, I honestly don't even know what they could have done. Like, anything that's not on top of this freaking water and bouncing off these lily pads, they will disappear once he kind of storms through them and kind of blows them away with his mystical powers, but they will respawn eventually, so they don't give you like a, you don't essentially run out of lily pads to platform across, but it's just kind of annoying. I don't know, like, it's just really awkward when you have to jump out of the water or whatever. Sonic doesn't sink because he's Jesus, but I don't know, it's something about this fight, I just don't care for it overall. Chaos, I have to say, the idea of Chaos having several forms and fighting you with each of these forms is freaking cool, I'm not gonna lie. I just wish the battlefields for fighting him would be a little bit more epic and a little more, I don't know, easier to platform across. I don't know. We have some other battlefields. It's not going to be our last time facing off with this creature of the water, but we have other fights coming up where the battlefield feels a lot more comfortable and a little bit more epic. So I guess I can't complain too much. Just this particular fight, I just don't really care for. But he's got 1 hit left, so we're going to finish this guy off and put him out of his misery here. It is fitting, though, that he is in the water in this one. This is the only time you actually fight him underwater. Well, he's underwater, not us, because he is made of water, so it only makes sense.
Hey, I'll play with you some other time.
Behold my floating masterpiece, the Egg Carrier! But it pales in comparison to the power of chaos. Adieu, until we meet again, my friends!
Hey, we can't let him get away! Let's get to my workshop and we'll take the tornado!
Yeah!
You guys go. I have some unfinished business to take care of.
No problem, Knuckles. We'll take care of everything here.
Come on! Let's get going!
So we can now officially play as Knuckles and take on his story. We are going to do that, just not at this time. After admiring this beautiful waterfall, it is time to move right along with this story. What do you have to say? I want to talk to you again. I was petrified. Yeah, I guess he was freaking out. Yeah, we had 2 back-to-back boss fights there, so I guess he has a right to be a little, scared and everything. We were flabbergasted. What the heck kind of ship was that? I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess I guess they were scared of Eggman's ship. I mean, Eggman's not that big a deal. Hey, there's Knuckles. Look at him.
What's the matter? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for you to stop staring at me like a knucklehead, you knucklehead.
What's the matter? What are you waiting for?
Dude, what are you waiting for? I'm the one that's actually moving around the map. You're sitting there stationary, not doing a damn thing. What are you doing? Get it together, knucklehead.
Sonic! Wait here for a second.
And it is now time to take on a sub-level, the first one of the game, Sky Chase Act 1. And I have to say, I don't even know if I've ever noticed this before. Has anybody ever talked about or noticed how those trees just perfectly move themselves out of the way? Almost like they were like set on like hydraulics or something. I don't know, does Tails have like some sort of mechanism that's able to, does he have like some, I don't know, like some sort of remote control that he can hit to make those trees move out of the way so he can get his plane through the airway? I don't know, I have a lot of questions about Tails and his workshop. But for right now, we're going to focus on the task at hand. Yes, we have our first flight mission. This is not going to be the last one we're going to be doing, but it's kind of cool nonetheless. This is much better than the flight levels that Crash Bandicoot had in Crash Warp, I must say. I gotta admit, I don't really care too much about these levels. They just kind of feel like they're kind of pointless. You just essentially are just trying to achieve the highest score possible by shooting as many of these things that are being propelled at your head, as well as all of these enemy airships that are going to try to shoot you down as well. I mean, I don't hate these levels. I just think that they were kind of unnecessary. I think they're kind of trying to bring back a little bit of it kind of feels like a throwback to Sonic 2 in a way, where you have those plane sections of the level, and then where Sonic's like riding on the back of the plane and Tails is driving it. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. And I think they were kind of going for like some sort of throwback or you know, kind of paying homage to the earlier games, but I'm okay with it. Like, I do enjoy it. It just kind of feels like you're not really doing much in this level besides just shooting everything you can, and which I guess I can't really hate on that. Adds a little bit of an extra element to the game where you're not just going through, you know, the basic stages and you know, of course you have all the story and everything, but I don't know. But anyways, yeah, we just want to essentially shoot as many enemies as we can here that are airborne, as well as these lasers that are blasting us, or I should say the cannons that are actually mounted on Eggman's ship. So I do like the fact that we're way above the clouds. I just love that aerial view. I don't know what it is about it. But yeah, that was all there was to it. That's pretty much all we had to do during that little section. Kind of short. However, well, wait a minute, we're not done yet. Hold the phone. What is this? Oh, Tails. What do we do now? I mean, shouldn't he have like saw that coming when he was working on his plane? I mean, he's supposed to be like a mastermind, isn't he? Come on, Tails. What the hell are you doing?